Hey folks, Matt Bronson here from Steve Weiss Music. This is our noontime hang, and I've got my coffee, and we're gonna hang out and talk a little bit about some vibraphone stuff because we're getting ready for the Steve Weiss Mallet Festival this summer. I've got Christos and Tony here, and we're pretty excited to give you an insight into not only the workshop that's coming up, but a little bit about what Christos is up to. He's gonna play a little bit, and we're just gonna hang and talk vibes. So let's do it.
There's some things about Christos that I just love. I love that he's a hustler. He was a hustler. I like guys that like when if I think okay, you paid your dues. I like guys that pay their dues. I think that's cool. He plays great. He does cool stuff. I've listened to him over the years. So he's really high on my list, whether he knows it or not. A lot of guys don't know it, and they think you're low on their list. But like he's a cat I've always checked out. So that's my little thing on Christos. So
Thank you for the invitation, and I would like to thank Tony for inviting me to join this thing at the first place. And it's really overwhelming hearing those things coming out of Tony's mouth, because we've known each other for many years since he started the Vibes workshop and back from MySpace or whatever that it was called. And I always kept an eye on what he was doing. And I think we all benefited from it. And I don't know how much credit he gets, because now we're all kind of taking it for granted that Tony's going to be running his platforms, which is probably a lot of work and a lot of hustling. So now the older we get, I personally get to really appreciate it even more, what he does, because I know that it's something that I couldn't do, but he offers so much to the community. And every time I get an opportunity to see him play, I'm excited, because his swing feel is unique. I think Tony swings in a way that we all have something to learn from it. And that's the beauty, man. Everybody's bringing something else, and that's what we're supposed to do.
that's what we're supposed to do.
I mean, my background is I was born and raised in Greece, and not even at the islands. So I was up in the mountains. So I was like hidden from the rest of the world. Everybody where I was growing up, everybody looked exactly like me and talked like me. So there was no contrast. So when I was exposed to other people, I found it so fascinating, because everybody talked and behaved differently. And that applies to music. Tonight, I'm playing with Hector Martignon's band at the Jungle, which is a jazz club in New York City. And I've been playing with Hector for about like 15 years now. And it's the style is Latin jazz. And Hector is somebody that has been around forever and played with major stars of that style. So I love to hear the style of music played at its best. Like when you hear the Tchaikovsky orchestra playing Tchaikovsky, for example, you assume that pretty much this is as good as you can get, So with Hector and other musicians in New York, you get that sometimes. You hear like a groove, and you hear the language at its best. And this is always exciting, and it fills my batteries, So then I have a gig that sounds very sexy, let's say. I'm playing with Petros Klampanis, a really killing bass player. We're playing duo in Santorini, at the island of Santorini in Greece.
Cool.
So it's one of those places.
Sounds sexy.
Gotta love it. I feel like you guys probably get called for sexy gigs a lot more than I do. I'll just say that.
But it's one of those gigs that you say, I'm playing in Santorini tomorrow, and they're like, oh, really?
Great.
And then after that, I'm releasing my new project on June 23rd that is called Home, and I even made CDs.
Ooh.
You know,
If you don't mind me asking, from like the creative standpoint of that album, I probably have done not even a percentage of the recordings you've done in your lifetime, but when you record, do you find that having kind of the unlimited time aspect was helpful, or was it actually more challenging for you? Because like for me, when I've recorded, sometimes the adrenaline of being like, we're like on take 6 right now, and I kind of got to go for it, and I gotta get something that's going to sound great here. Did you find that it helped you, or did you find that it was more challenging?
man, and I'm sure Tony will relate. I had the option to take as many solos as possible until I played the best solo in the world. And I was a little afraid, like I would prepare the track and I would leave that solo section open, only with the, with the backing tracks and everything. So the only thing would be missing would be the vibe solo. Man, you'll be surprised that you don't want to do more than 2-3 takes. Like I couldn't. I mean, there's certain tracks that it was the first take. I mean, I would fix the end a little bit because probably I would get too excited and I would mess it up at the end. But I didn't overdo it, man. I didn't, like, I was playing like the same way I was playing everything else.
Yeah.
When the solo sounded fine, I was okay with it. Cool. And to this day, I'm thinking, should I have done better solos or change the solos? But then that's not music.
Right.
I'm not saying that you keep wrong notes in there. No, you fix it. But
right.
It was always if not the first, the second track, the second take. Because then you start going downhill. There's no excitement. You know exactly what you're going to play. And it sounds like, imagine if this wasn't live and I would be reading now from a script.
Right.
It would have no groove.
Yeah, you kind of get to the point where it's like, is the next take going to be better, or is it just going to be different?
And then I as soon as I realized that, I'm thinking, great, now I can record from home because it doesn't sound overdone. It sounds organic, like the way I play, And but the funny part was that I had to play drums in a few tracks.
Yep. And
then you listen to yourself play on an instrument that you don't really care how you sound. Like I'm never going to put a business card saying that I play drums, So, and then you feel way more looser than playing the vibes because there's always criticism on the vibes. Like, he's a guy. But on the drums, nobody's going to say anything. Plus, I don't care. What are they going to say, And I worked out some grooves that they were grooving. I played with a click. There's no fancy stuff. It was only grooving, but it's grooving. And I can say this because it's not my instrument. I mean, I wouldn't say that on the vibes. Like, yeah, when I play,
I'm sure.
Groove. No.
I'm pretty sure that people are probably going to listen to the album and be like, man, this drummer is like not doing too much. They're just grooving. It sounds killer. Who's on it? And they're going to look and they're going to see your name on it.
And then on the other track, I mean, I got two guest drummers on the album, and I wrote 2 different pieces for them. One is Mauricio Zotarelli, a Brazilian drummer that is like unbelievable, and the other is Antonio Sanchez. So, and then it's me, which is
you're in good company,
like,
right? Yeah.
But if you listen to the track, you just hear a nice little groove going on, and So I would like to play "But Beautiful." It's a little arrangement like a samba, not a samba, like a bossa, and this is only for practicing purposes. So that's what I would like to play.
Well, I got to say thank you to both of you. You know, Christos, thank you for joining us. Tony, thanks for coming to hang. We've got the Steve Weiss Mallet Festival coming up August 4th through 6th, I believe, right? And then we have your camp. What day does that start again, Tony, the camp?
August 31st to no. July
July
31st.
31st, right? Yep. Beautiful. July 31st through August 4th. You can check out Christos on the Saturday night concert at Chris's Jazz Cafe, as well as hanging during the camp, correct, right?
So yes, on that Saturday night, let me just tell you, it's going to be Christos is playing, Justin Vives is playing, Jason Marcellus is coming to play, I'll play, Bengalise is going to play. Yeah, that's it. That'll take up a whole set of us each playing, one tune. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I am really looking forward to it and the hang. And I think we're gonna do possibly a get together on Saturday for all the artists, so all the vibe players get to
Yeah.
hang together for a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And for those that are interested, I guess, in all things Weiss, I'm going to try to, as long as Tony will let me, I'm going to try to come hang out and film, check out some of the stuff during camp, and just be around. And I'll be able to meet Christos in person and bug him that way too, which will be good. But yeah, we got so much great stuff coming up. So make sure you keep an eye on our social media, as well as our Facebook page, as well as Tony's Jazz Vibes workshop stuff that he's got going on. So thanks again, Christos, and we'll see everybody
Thanks,
next time.
Christos.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the invitation. Thanks for having me. And that was very